The wolf in sheep's clothing. There once was a wolf who wanted to go to the town and eat some delicious sheep. So he goes to the marketplace and spots these fluffy sheep all around him. But he couldn't just run in there and start eating them because people would be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop it, dude." So instead, he had a brilliant idea. He'd simply find a sheep, climb on top of it, and then pretend to be a sheep himself. And so that's what he did. He jumps onto this random sheep, starts baying, and the sheep is like, "Dude, what are you doing? Get off me." And the wolf's like, "Nah, man, I am a sheep. Don't you see my fluffy white coat, my woolly fleece?" And the sheep is like, "Yeah, but you're not really a sheep, are you? You're a wolf." And the wolf's like, "Hey, don't judge a book by its cover, man. You should get to know me first." And the sheep's like, "I don't have time for this." And the wolf's like, "Come on, man. Give an old wolf a chance. How about we become friends? We could hang out together, play video games." And the sheep's like, No, man. I don't want anything to do with you. Get off me right now." But the wolf's like, "No, man. I really want to be your friend. We could, make YouTube videos together. It'll be great." And the sheep's like, "I don't want to make YouTube videos with you. Get off me right now." But the wolf's like, "Oh, come on, man. I'm trying to start a channel here. Please, 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 please." And the sheep is like, "Stop recording. Stop recording." And the wolf just keeps recording. And at this point, the sheep is getting really scared. It takes off running, the wolf chasing after it, and the last thing we hear is the sheep screaming, "Help, help, somebody, please, somebody help, help." So when the wolf finally catches up to the sheep, he tears into it and eats it. The end. Okay, cut, that's a wrap. That was sick. Let's do another one. They say that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Do you ever feel powerless in the face of injustice? Like you want to help people, but you don't know how? Well, I've got the answer for you. In today's fable, we're going to be looking at the classic tale of the wolf in sheep's clothing. This story has been told and retold countless times throughout history. In each telling, it warns us about the dangers of judging someone by their appearance and the importance of trusting our instincts. The story teaches us that sometimes what appears to be harmless can actually be quite dangerous. A wolf disguises himself in sheep's clothing and deceives his prey by pretending to be one of them. He sneaks into the flock undetected and preys on the unsuspecting sheep, demonstrating how those who seem the most vulnerable can often be the most cunning and deceptive. The wolf in sheep's clothing represents those who try to hide their true intentions and manipulate others into trusting them. These individuals may appear harmless and trustworthy, but underneath their facade lies a more sinister motive. They are skilled manipulators who use their charm and charisma to deceive their victims and gain their trust before striking. It is important to remember that appearances can be deceiving and not to trust everyone we meet. We must learn to look beyond the surface and pay attention to our intuition. When dealing with unfamiliar faces, by being aware of the warning signs, we can better protect ourselves from those who would seek to do us harm. In conclusion, the story of the wolf in sheep's clothing reminds us that even in the most innocent of settings, we must remain vigilant and cautious. We cannot rely solely on our senses or what we see, but must also consider the intentions of those we encounter. By learning from the mistakes of others and heeding the lessons of this timeless tale, we can better prepare ourselves for the challenges that lie ahead and ensure that we are not caught off guard by those who would do us wrong. The main character in our story is a simple yet somewhat naive young man named Ethan. Ethan is a hardworking and honest individual who goes about his daily life in the town without any trouble. One day, however, his peaceful existence is disrupted when he meets a charming stranger, who soon becomes a close friend. This new friend, who calls himself William, quickly ingratiates himself to Ethan and begins to influence him in subtle ways. As time passes, Ethan begins to notice changes in his friend's behavior, which cause him to question his true motives and the nature of their friendship. Despite these doubts, Ethan struggles with his feelings of uncertainty. Torn between his growing suspicions and his desire to believe in the goodness of his friend, meanwhile, the antagonist of the story, lurking in the shadows, observes Ethan and William's friendship with keen interest. Recognizing William's manipulative tendencies, the antagonist hatches a plan to exploit the situation for his own gain. As the story progresses, the antagonist's sinister intentions become increasingly clear, and he takes steps to ensure that Ethan falls prey to William's deception. The story builds towards a climax when Ethan discovers the truth about his friend's deceitful nature and the extent of his manipulation. Faced with this revelation, Ethan must confront the reality of his situation and take action to protect himself from further harm. The resolution of the story reveals the consequences of Ethan's choices and the impact they have on his life and relationships. It serves as a reminder of the importance of trust and the need to be cautious in the face of deception. Now, let's bring this story to life with a talented cast. Ethan, played by Tom Holland, is a young man who lives in a small town. He's a hard worker and an honest guy who just wants to live his life and mind his own business. William, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, is a mysterious stranger who comes to town and quickly becomes friends with Ethan. William is charming and charismatic, but there's something about him that just doesn't sit right with Ethan. The antagonist, played by Hannibal Buress, is a sinister character who watches Ethan and William's friendship develop with keen interest. He recognizes William's manipulative tendencies and hatches a plan to exploit the situation. As the story unfolds, Ethan and William's friendship grows. However, Ethan begins to notice strange things about William's behavior, which raises red flags in his mind. Despite his doubts, he tries to ignore them and continues to spend time with William. Meanwhile, the antagonist, lurking in the shadows, waits for the perfect moment to make his move. He observes Ethan and William closely, studying their relationship and planning his next move. The story reaches a turning point when Ethan discovers something that makes him question William's true intentions. He begins to suspect that his friend is not who he claims to be, and that there is more to their relationship than meets the eye. Confrontation ensues as Ethan confronts William about his suspicions. The truth is revealed, exposing William's deceitful nature and the extent of his manipulation. In the aftermath, Ethan is left to deal with the consequences of William's betrayal and the impact it has had on his life. He must come to terms with the deception and find a way to move forward. The story ends with a message about the importance of trust and the need to be cautious in the face of deception. It serves as a reminder that not everyone we meet is who they seem to be, and that it's important to pay attention to our gut instincts. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today's fable. But don't worry, the adventure doesn't have to end here. If you liked this story, be sure to check out more content where you'll find plenty of other tales to keep you entertained. Peace. Each story is carefully crafted to teach valuable life lessons in a fun and engaging way. So whether you're looking for a little wisdom or just some good old-fashioned entertainment, be sure to check out more content. With new stories added regularly, you're sure to find something that captures your imagination and leaves you feeling inspired. So why wait? Click now and join the fun.